So, a 22-year-old sold 933 photos of his own face for $1.2 million. His expression in every single one of them, completely blank, not smiling, not posing, just staring into the camera, over and over, for 5 years straight. And someone bought his face. Then someone else did. Then 500 people did. And somewhere in a government office, a tax authority thought, we should probably tweet at this guy. This is not a story about tech geniuses or Silicon Valley. This is Southeast Asia. And the people in this episode? Completely ordinary. A student, a rice farmer, a sneaker seller, a kid who can't even legally drive. Welcome to C Daily Buzz. Let's start in Semarang, Indonesia, 2021. A young animation student named Sultan Gustaf Al-Ghozali has a graduation project. He wants to make a time-lapse of himself growing up, so every time he sits down at his computer, he snaps a selfie. Same angle, same dead-eyed stare, no smile, no filter, just a guy looking at his own face, probably wishing he was doing literally anything else. He does this for 5 years, 933 times. Then, in December 2021, Ghozali learns about NFTs. He looks at his collection of 933 identical selfies, and he thinks, honestly, why not? He uploads all of them to OpenSea, prices them at $3 each, then tweets, "Uploading my photo into NFT, lol." He genuinely does not expect anything to happen. Then January 2022 arrives. Celebrity chef Arnold Purnomo finds the collection. Indonesian sneaker entrepreneur Juju discovers it. They start promoting it. And the internet, because the internet is exactly this kind of unhinged, absolutely loses its mind. The floor price goes from $3 to $3,000 per face. His expressionless, deadpan, couldn't-care-less face. In less than 2 weeks, Ghozali's total trading volume hits 384 ETH. That is over $1.2 million. 505 people across the world purchased his face. Fans printed his face on t-shirts. Someone wrote a song about him. And then, here's the part that breaks my brain. The Indonesian tax authority contacted him on Twitter to remind him to pay his taxes. His response was magnificent. He said, "This is my first tax payment in my life. Of course I will pay, because I am a good Indonesian citizen." Bro paid his taxes before he even told his parents. Because here's the thing, he hadn't. He confessed, "To be honest, I still haven't got the courage to tell my parents. They would be wondering where I got the money from." He called the whole project the stupidest idea I ever came up with, but luckily I can make money from it. He also said, and I quote, "I still don't understand why you want to buy NFT photos of me." Neither do we, Ghozali. Neither do we. His plan for the money? Open an animation studio. Not buy a yacht, not move to Dubai, not post a flex video. An animation studio. The guy came up with the idea as a joke, made over $1 million, and his first instinct was to build something creative. The guy has the soul of an artist who accidentally became a millionaire. And then, because once apparently isn't enough, in 2024, after graduating, Ghozali came back. He launched a meme coin and NFT hybrid on BaseChain. The pre-sale raised between $1.4 and $1.8 million, more than the original. The man sold his face twice, and made more money the second time. Now, let's get out of the city, way out. We're in Isan, northeastern Thailand, the poorest region in the country, and we're going to meet Sapon. Sapon spent 10 years as a migrant construction worker in the Middle East, 10 years away from home. When he came back, he bounced between low-paying jobs in rural Thailand. Then COVID hit, and everything stopped. Stuck at home, he found YouTube, specifically a channel run by the CEO of BitCub, Thailand's biggest crypto exchange. He started watching, then watching more. Then he started trading, on his phone, in the middle of his rice field. And here is the image that went around the world. Sapon rigged up a solar panel right there in his rice paddy, so he could charge his phone and trade crypto while farming at the same time. His neighbors started stopping by. A mechanic, passing herders. He'd pause from farming and teach them how to trade. He's his own boss now. Not rich, not millionaire rich, but free in a way he never was working construction sites overseas for someone else's profit. That's not a small thing. After 10 years of that life, being in control of your own income is its own kind of jackpot. Now meet Chan. 23 years old at the time of filming, Chan got into crypto at 19, right during the 2017 bull market. He found a lesser-known altcoin, watched it explode, made millions of baht in a few months, then watched it crash to almost nothing. He held on, rebuilt. At the time of the documentary, he had roughly $500,000 in crypto, and he said something worth remembering. He said, "If you're getting into crypto to get rich quick, I don't think that's the right mentality." From someone who made millions and then got wrecked and still came back, that hits different. Chan isn't bitter, he's just honest. Here's the bigger picture. Thailand has 0% capital gains tax on cryptocurrency. 1 in 7 Thais has BitCub on their phone. 18% of the entire population holds crypto. In rural Isan, a farmer with a solar panel and a smartphone is part of a national movement. Remember Jeju? The Indonesian sneaker entrepreneur who discovered Ghozali's selfies and helped make him famous? He had his own story brewing at exactly the same time. Jeju, full name Jeffrey Joe, quit his job at 23 to sell sneakers imported from America. Built that into a streetwear empire in Jakarta. Not a tech bro, not a crypto native, a sneaker kid with an eye for what's cool. He teamed up with W.D. Willie, an Indonesian illustrator known for his colorful, almost anime-style artwork. Together, along with Grady Edbert, they created Karafuru, 5,555 vibrant, handcrafted NFTs. No VC backing, no Silicon Valley connections. 2 creative guys from Jakarta on their laptops. February 4th, 2022. Karafuru launches. The mint price was 0.5 ETH, about $1,400 at the time. All 5,555 sold out immediately, and then the leaderboard updated. On that single day, February 4th, Karafuru became the #1 best-selling NFT on OpenSea. Globally, the entire planet. Beating projects that had been building for years. Beating Bored Ape Yacht Club. Let that sink in. A sneaker seller and a local illustrator from Jakarta, Indonesia, beat the most famous NFT project in the world. On its home turf, on the biggest platform on Earth. And then Brooklyn Beckham, David Beckham's son, bought one and tweeted about it. Total trading volume eventually crossed $100 million. The collection, once started from a laptop in Jakarta, traded over 45,000 ETH. A local illustrator, a sneaker seller. The same guy who put Ghozali's face on the map built the next chapter himself. Indonesia didn't just have one moment, it had 2. Our final story takes us to Malaysia, and to a question nobody has quite managed to answer. A 14-year-old boy named Haziq Nasri posted a TikTok in 2022. The video was simple. He walked the camera through his car collection, a Toyota IQ. He claimed he bought it at age 10, for half a Bitcoin. A Range Rover Sport, a Ferrari FF, a Lamborghini Aventador, worth roughly $450,000. He looked into the camera and said, "Here is my full car collection as a 14-year-old Bitcoin millionaire in 2022. The video went massively viral. The Daily Mirror in the UK picked it up. He gained 40,000 TikTok followers, 30 million combined views across shares and reposts. The comments, though, the comments were doing detective work. Millionaire living in terrace housing? Interesting. Imagine owning so many cars but can't drive. He's 14. He cannot legally drive any of these. Nobody could verify the wealth. No financial records. No independent reporting. Most followers concluded it was likely exaggerated. Cars that might belong to family. A story that might be more performance than reality. And here is what I think is actually the most interesting part of this story. Real or not, 30 million people watched it. People shared it. People argued about it. Commenters spent hours debating the specs on a Lamborghini owned by a kid who cannot legally get a driving license for another 2 years. People wanted to believe it was true, because in Southeast Asia right now, that kind of dream doesn't feel impossible anymore. A 14-year-old flashing Lamborghinis and claiming Bitcoin made him rich? At least some part of you wants to see if it's real. That's what crypto did to the imagination of an entire region. An expressionless student in Indonesia, a rice farmer in Thailand trading on a solar-powered phone, a sneaker seller and an illustrator who built the world's biggest NFT, for one day at least, and a 14-year-old with a Lamborghini, allegedly. The crypto boom didn't just create wealth in Southeast Asia, it rewired what ordinary people thought was possible. We drop new episodes every week. If you enjoyed this, hit subscribe and drop a like. It helps more than you think. See you next time.